Welcome everybody to our webinar today. It is titled IRPE by the Numbers in the California Community Colleges System. My name is Brad Trimble. I am the Director of Learning and Strategy for the IRPE Group. The goals for our webinar today are to share the survey results from two different surveys that we've administered over the last year. The first one is the 2021 Survey of IRPE Offices. And the other is the 2022 IRPE Group Demographic Survey. So the goal overall in sharing these survey results is to help increase some awareness about IRPE demographics, recent trends within the California Community College System IRPE realm, the responsibilities of our offices, budgets, staffing, workloads, professional development needs, and just general support that the IRPE Group can provide for research offices. Okay, so I'm going to kick off here with the 2021 Survey of IRPE Offices. And just a little bit of background about this survey. It is administered about every other year to the IRPE office leads. So if you are a dean, director, if you're the only researcher on your campus, you are going to be receiving this survey from us. And the intent behind it is to advance statewide perspective about what's going on in our offices, to establish some benchmarking information for folks to use, whether you might be interested in getting another analyst on staff, for example. You can look at how your office fares against all the other offices in the system. We're intending to document IRPE office evolution, help inform our professional development, and our advocacy efforts for the field. So with respect to engagement, we had 108 college and district IRPE offices respond to the survey. So thank you very much to everybody who helped play a role in that. It ended up responding or resulting in a 79% response rate across the state. And 83% of the offices who responded are also IRPE Group members. So thank you for that as well. So with respect to some of the trends and what we saw within the data, from the cabinet and executive leadership perspective, we're seeing responsibilities grow in this area. This has been going on for several years. And 64% of IRPE offices are reporting to either a president or superintendent. In the past, there was more of a prevalency for offices to be reporting to vice presidents, for example, but more and more we're reporting to higher ups in the institution. And 90% of offices are responsible for overseeing college-wide planning and evaluation efforts. And 86% lead or facilitate accreditation efforts on campus. With respect to roles and responsibilities related to operations, 87% of IRPE offices are implementing program review. 59% facilitate outcomes assessment. 55% of offices are responsible for leading and facilitating equity efforts. There's been a major growth in that area over the past several years. And 46% are responsible for resource development, which is also a burgeoning area of growth for our offices. With respect to office budgets, workload, and staffing, about 76% of offices are reporting no budget changes between 2020 and 2021, while just 11% are experiencing increases, 13% experiencing decreases. And similar data across the staffing realm as well. 66% are noting no significant change in staffing. And this is basically reaching a point of equilibrium. Our offices have been growing markedly over, say, the past 10 years in size. And so that's finally beginning to plateau. Sorry, I'm getting over a bug at present, so it's impacting my ability to speak. Okay, so IRPE office trends from an FTE perspective. FTE growth rates are slowing and reaching the point of equilibrium, like I mentioned before. The average FTE of responding offices is 3.86, That number is a little bit higher in colleges at 3.91, and district IRPE offices are at 3.55. And the next couple slides are some bonus analysis. And this is where I want to thank the field, because we administered this survey and there was, feedback from folks in offices saying, well, what about this? What about that? And so I did a little bit of additional analysis to help satisfy these requests for additional information. And one of them was, how do FTE and research offices stack up against FTES at our institutions? And so what I did was I looked at everybody who responded to the survey, put them into three areas: the bottom third, middle third, and top third. And what we found was that small colleges seem to have the greatest or the least amount of FTES per full-time equivalent researcher. Mid-sized colleges seem to have potentially the highest workload, with FTES at 1,241. Large colleges are right around the middle, with just over 1,000 FTES per full-time researcher. Additional bonus analysis here was received a question related to how many offices have multiple managers. And so after looking across the system and seeing everything that was out there, it looks like about 9% of college and district offices have 2 administrators in them. And the way that these staffing structures break down is that dean and directors, there was 6 institutions with those. Senior dean and dean, there was 2 institutions with those. And it should be noted that these offices also oversaw equity efforts on campus. There's another institution with an AVP and an executive director, which also oversees equity. And then one with a VP and director. From a professional development perspective, we took a look at how interested folks are in particular topics related to PD. These are the ones that came up from a leadership perspective. I'll let you take a look at the interest levels in these particular areas. And these are the interest levels in more of the content and skill development areas for IRPE offices. And what we will do from a professional development perspective is work to ensure that our PD remains focused on these areas. There's also a question in the survey about how the RP group can best support IRPE offices. And what offices shared is that they really value the work that we do related to research and evaluation. Colleges find tremendous utility in the evaluation frameworks and projects in implementing efforts on their campuses. And they also want increased opportunities to get involved in this research. Offices also shared that resources around the pandemic would also be really helpful, and future trends associated with that. What does all this mean, right? And greater participation and engagement from our RP group regional board representatives in the field. And a final area where offices were quite vocal is just generally expressing appreciation for the work that goes in with the Chancellor's office and ensuring consistency and transparency related to the various metrics that are available on a statewide level, dashboards and reporting requirements, things like that. So some thoughts for the next survey. Folks shared that we should probably ask about ALO status. That would give us some important insights. And disaggregating questions by who IRP offices report to. Is it a VPI? Is it a VP of Student Services, Administration? Things like that would be helpful. And including questions about the level to which folks can travel and have funding and be able to attend in-person events.